What about man as a nickname for Duarte?
I knew you were going there, but I'm having trouble figuring out what the correct connection might be.
He's a man among boys.
CD Manischewitz.
Come on, 8-track is not bad. Outdated listening technology? Come on.
8-track is not
It's
bad.
not bad.
Is it because he's old?
Yes.
Right.
And he's old.
Yeah, it works on multiple
right.
levels.
It's killer.
Something with plantains.
Mm.
We'll get there.
Banana hammock. That's all I could come up with.
Yeah. I was gonna try and come up with something about a plantain boat for our favorite Pacers.
Right. Sure. Yeah, that's also
Time of the
good.
banana boat. But
So instead of
it's marginally better than banana hammock. But
it is. So instead of the banana boat, we have the plantain boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll make it famous.
It's a little bit more starchy.
That's right.
But if you cook it right, it's way better.
Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to.
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 547, coming to you from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm your host this week, Jason Triplett. This show, we're going to recant some of our preseason predictions, and we'll tackle an ungoogleable. I'm confident we'll have time. Joining me this week are two of our three analysts, coast to coast like butter toast. First, from Asheville, North Carolina. He's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles. It's John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out this week to Angela and Amanda, longtime friends who are putting up with me and also putting me up here in Asheville. So, shout out.
Shout out, indeed. Belated shout out to our favorite guest, Connie. Happy birthday, Connie.
Super fan of the show.
Failed to shout you out on the last one.
Happy birthday.
And from Boise, Idaho, out west, our enforcer, John Harper.
what is going on, fellas?
You stole his shout out. It was going to be to Connie. So now he's got nothing.
I mean, it's sort of embarrassing that we literally talked to her right before the show, and then
Directly before the show.
Well, I think we had mentally checked it off in our head. Shouted her out.
We've
while we were
already
on
wished
Skype.
her happy birthday on Skype.
Before we start the show, just want to remind you guys that you can support us every time you shop at Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Just follow the link in the show notes or go to theundebeatables.com/Amazon. You can also go to patreon.com/theundebeatables and support us for as little as $1 a month. And if you bump up to the $5 or $10 a month level, you get special treats from us that are not undersized t-shirts. You actually get something of value. All right, boys. We are about 10 games or so into the season now already. It comes hot and heavy at the beginning of the season. Strap on, as Colson would say. We can start things are starting to make a little bit more sense. So preseason, we're sort of flying blind. We make guesses as to what teams are going to be, and then even with this little of a snapshot, maybe we can say whether or not we were right or wrong on any particular prediction. So now's our time to sort of take stock and see if there's anything that we were way off on or had nailed directly. Colson, do you want to share with the folks something that you can do it either way, something that you were like, I nailed this, like give me more props, or say mea culpa, the
I think I can.
are amazing.
Yeah, I think I can do both in this one.
Wow.
Yes. I am devastated that we did not put all of our collective undebeatable money on the Utah Jazz over bet.
Yep.
That was in my mind the clearest thing that was going to happen. It was going to be the thing that was going to win. Everything else was going to be a crapshoot, but that one in my mind was a clear over, and we should have bet the farm on it. And the fact that I did not put any money on it is my failure, but I think it's also great analysis on our part. Now, granted, they're not on they haven't hit the over yet, but they've only lost one game this season. They look like a well-oiled machine. They look like a regular season team that's going to do fantastic things all year. And you can decide. We'll find out in the playoffs if they can actually make a step, but they're going to win a lot of games this season. And I think that was the easiest bet for us to make a lot of money on, and we didn't do it. So we're geniuses and also idiots. That's going to be my first one.
That's the tagline of the show.
So I think that as of recording, they have lost 2 straight and are now 7-3.
Oh no!
After dropping to Miami on Saturday and at Orlando.
Ooh, the Miami was a good loss. The Orlando is not.
No, not really.
I still think I think it's gonna be easy over for them. I think we've. Granted, it's too early to tell, but I'm still. Is there still a way to bet money on that? Probably.
You can,
for sure.
But the number
my
has
odds are
probably
different.
changed.
Right, my odds are different now.
Right. Exactly.
Wah, wah.
That's why you got to strike while the iron is hot.
That's right. That's why you got to listen to this show, and go take
Harper,
all your money to Vegas.
How about you? Is there a
there's
thing
one
you're regretting?
There's one I've already lost for all intents and purposes. That'd be the New Orleans Pelicans, who I was highest on at 42 season wins. They have started off 1-9, are currently without Zion and his 320-pound girth and Brandon Ingram. There is no timetable set for return. We were kind of kidding, half kidding, about how they were only an injury away from tank time in our prediction pod, but, well, at 1-9, it's going to be tough to salvage much from this season. So you got to wonder if these guys don't get back sooner rather than later, what incentive they really have to tally up a bunch of wins and not go for a high draft pick.
Yeah, so that's the worst record in the league.
Yeah.
Followed close behind by the Detroit Pistons at 1-8. That we knew. That one I think we're
solid on that.
We could go to the bank almost on that one at this point. For me, there's a couple, and the first is a huge. I just didn't put enough mental energy into thinking about my predictions, and totally failed. And that was the Toronto Raptors. I was really low on the Toronto Raptors. I think I picked them to win 24 games, which is just stupid. I should be barred from making predictions about the Toronto Raptors after this. They're good.
They're fine.
They lost
they are
their
fine.
floor general. I mean, you were allowed to be worried without.
No, but not 24
Lowry.
games. Bad. Like they're a well-run organization. They have quality basketball players. They have NBA basketball players. They have good depth. They play defense. They're 4th in the league in defense. Like they beat the Pacers twice, and
Which
the
is
Pacers are amazing.
crap.
So,
Which is crap. How did we lose both those games? Look, I think Nick Nurse is one of the coaches that matter, but like we shouldn't have lost
exactly.
both.
So
we
why-
shouldn't have
how-
lost
why
both
would
those games.
agreed. And I should not have picked them to win 24 games. That was just me going overboard and being dumb and trying to give more wins to the other teams that I thought were, the improved middle class of the East in the, the Chicago Bulls and Wizards of the world and whatnot. Which, by the way, the Wizards are starting out very hot. So,
also, the Bulls look really good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like a huge surprise.
Some guys.
No, but we all had them playing 500 ball, and they look like they're going to do better.
Yeah, but we're also Pacers fans, so we're going to be haters.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, when I shouted out the Chicago Sky for winning their WNBA title, I didn't say the word Chicago. That's how I just shouted out the Sky.
Attaboy.
The other one was one that we were another consensus over that we had that, well, I think this one was the one we might have been most confident in, was the LA Lakers. And I have not been super impressed with the Lakers thus far, the way they've gotten off. They're 5-5 right now. Obviously, LeBron is hurt, which is part of that. But it just seems like they're just gonna figure it out kind of mode. Basically, they'll wait until the All-Star break and then start playing basketball. It seems, and that's fine for going to the playoffs, and they may still be the odds-on favorite to win the championship because James and Davis are still probably the most ridiculous 1-2 combo that you can put together on the court. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win 55 games or whatever. And their preseason number, I think, was 50 some odd or whatever it was.
Yeah, 52
and a half, and we were like pound the over. So
yeah, I mean the thing is I mean I think I believe that there would be some figuring out of the Westbrook thing, but I thought that he would just kind of take over when LeBron was off the floor, and he would just take a lot of the beating of the regular season. But I think what I've been surprised by is how bad they've been on defense. Vogel's whole thing is defense. In fact, that's how they won their title 2 years ago, was being the number one defense in the league, and that's how he got the Pacers to be, a contender. And now they don't have the personnel they had before. They traded away all of their guys, and then they brought in a bunch of 38-year-olds. So I get it, but you'd still think that a Vogel-led team is going to figure out how to have a defensive scheme that works, and I think eventually that might be the case, but I've been surprised how bad they are in defense at this point.
Yeah, as a 40-something-year-old that thinks he's still an athlete and plays soccer sometimes, defense is not a thing I'm about these days.
You're just in for the glory? Score the goals.
I will play selectively hard defense every now and then, but I'm not going to give you 48 minutes of hell or whatever. Harper, did you have any ones that you felt like you were like, yep, I got this one. You guys are idiots, and I nailed this.
Well, no, not necessarily. So my Toronto I was going to mention was Cleveland. I gave them 23 wins for much the same reason that you gave Toronto no wins. Cleveland is doing better than Toronto so far this season. After an 0-2 start, they sit at 7-4. They've got some decent victories under their belt. They look better than they should be. So, I'm not going to apologize to anyone in Cleveland, but that's a thing.
So it's Sexland plus their rookie, was it Mobley?
Mobley, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking fantastic. I mean, they just
Ricky Rubio running shit.
They just beat the Knicks today. Looking good. Ricky Rubio, he's not. Where is he? He plays for Cleveland. What? Are you sure? I feel like if you go back and listen to the tape, that's not where he is.
Perhaps. But no, I didn't think that. My biggest deviation was probably on the Pacers and the Cavs, and neither of those are looking very hot so far. I was super high on a team that started off just terrible on the Pacers.
Yeah, so let's revisit that. So if you were to redo your Pacers pick right now, after seeing them play ball for 3 weeks or whatever it's been, I mean, it sounds like you're coming down from your 48 number, but does this seem like a sub 500 team to you?
No,
or?
I mean, I'd just take away, 3 of the games that we should have won on the prior stretch. Like, I mean, the kind of basketball that we're playing is fine. And as discussed, a lot of games that we lost were close. And thought we were playing terrible basketball and still being in these games. Now that we're playing well and playing defense and getting contributions up and down the bench and getting healthier, yeah, I mean, I think that we're a very good team. I think that 45 is still a pretty low number for us, and I think we should get there.
Okay. And Colson, you feel the same, or you're?
Yeah, no, I mean, what did I have us at? 44,
I think.
44? I think I'm comfortable with 45 from what I've seen recently. I mean, I agree that we're going to, I mean, I think you said this last time we did the pod, Jason, when you said we're really going to want those first 2 losses back when we're shuffling for playoff position.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to really want those 2 losses back from Toronto as well. Like, I think these are 4 losses that are really going to hurt us down the stretch. But I think we're still going to be an above 500 team for sure. I'll put us at. I still like my 44, but I'm fine with Harper's 45. I got your back, Harper.
Yeah, I mean, I was the lowest on the Pacers. I think I had us at 500. I think that we're a better basketball team than we were last year already. Like, I feel like things are just more organized. I think that folks are more engaged. And, I mean, I guess maybe at the beginning of last year folks were engaged. But I just feel like there's a plan, which is
Refreshing.
comforting.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And refreshing. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm willing to tick us up. I think we're in that same group as, I would say the Chicagos and Boston's off to a bad start, but the Bostons and New Yorks of the world, which is
what about the Cavs of the world? Can we even talk to them at this point?
I don't think we can. We're not in reaching distance of the Cavs.
Right. So the Sixers are better than I thought, which is frustrating.
Until Joel Embiid goes down with an injury.
Right. They're a lot better right now than I thought they'd be. Like, this is the part of the season where I thought
there'd
that
be
the Ben
turmoil.
Simmons distraction would be a problem. Right. Mm-hmm. Maybe working guys back into shape. Like, I just thought that they'd start off tough and have to run to catch up to, the 50 wins, basically, that we were predicting for them.
Right.
I mean, there's no doubt that they're a good team, but to be 8-2 where they are is certainly great news for them. But yeah, Jason, you're right. They're an Embiid injury away from total disaster at any given
And he's
moment.
never played more than 62 games in a season or something like that. Isn't that what we decided? 65.
Yeah.
So it will happen.
That's what the facts decided. We didn't have to decide anything. And I haven't been as tuned in. I don't know what their schedule has been like. I don't know if they've had a particularly soft schedule or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I sort of expected them to come stumbling out of the gate, and the fact that they're stringing together wins is a good sign for them.
Yeah. So actually, if you, they've beat the Pelicans, the Thunder, the Pistons, the Blazers, who are not playing well, and the Pistons again, but they also beat the Bulls twice and lost to the Nets and the Knicks. So, yeah, that's not a really tough schedule. I mean, they've done what they're supposed to do, which was beat the teams that they're better than, and that's it.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm not that worried. So the Pacers have had we knew this going in, brutal beginning of this schedule. We knew that was going to be the case, and we tried to prep ourselves for it. We hoped that we would get a couple of those wins up front that we didn't get, but we were hoping to be playing around 500 ball going into this really difficult stretch in is it November? December.
Well, the month of November is very hard.
Right.
And then I think the month of January is not super kind.
So December is the one that's pretty decent. So we were just hoping to not be too far below 500 going into December. December to remember.
Right.
That's right. So
that's right.
So let's just stay afloat. I think we can do it. I
So
mean,
we're
right.
in the midst of a 8 and 10 game stretch on the road, and then I think it gets even harder. I don't know. I sent you guys a snapshot or a screenshot of the schedule for November, and I was like, "There's a real chance we could be 5-18 or whatever."
Yeah.
It was
After
the month of November.
You weren't wrong. Look at
If you asked me a week ago,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it looks like
Yeah.
maybe 8 and 14 or something.
Sure.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
A little bit
can
closer
be-
to that 500 number.
Only 5 games under, 6
Right.
games under. I think we'll be in good shape. Also, suck it, Lakers fans. The Lakers dropped 2 games to the Thunder, who we all predicted to win less than 20 games, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, around 20 games.
yeah, Colson had us at 21. Picked the big over. Ambitious. He was high on OKC.
I love the Thunder. I was like, it's
In
all
each of those
SGA.
games, the Thunder came back from 20 plus.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, one of them was
winning,
24.
right?
The other one was
18 or something.
18,
like that,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. Which is just talk about losses you're going to want back at the end of the season. Those are ones that Laker fans are gonna be like, oh man, we're in the play-in game because we lost these. We'll let Shea Gilgeous-Alexander hit a 35-footer to beat us.
from the
That's
logo.
not good. Yeah.
It was beautimous. He was like literally. It was pretty much half court. He was just like, "Yeah, I got this." There's still like 20 seconds left on the shot clock. I'm just gonna pull up from here. It's gonna be fine, and drilled it. So, shout out SGA. So we knew the Rockets were gonna suck. We knew the Thunder was gonna suck. We knew the Pelicans were gonna suck. Actually, Harper didn't know the Pelicans were gonna suck, but
I mean, we were in the high 40s on them.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the Grizzlies. I think they're playing really well. I think John Morant looks better than he did before somehow. If that's possible. I'm surprised the Mavericks are playing well. I just don't.
Agreed.
I didn't like that team. I don't like their coach. This is all on the shoulders of Luka Doncic, apparently.
Well, it is. He hit last night. We're recording this Sunday. Saturday night, he hit a game winner in a game against who were they playing?
It's Boston.
Oh, it was against Boston. That's right. Yeah, Luka definitely just carries them. You know, and
Super good.
J-Kid tries to f it up, and Luka is like, "Yeah, no, it's cool. I got this."
Yeah. It's a bunch of ISO for Luka. That's Jason Kidd's only plan, and it's kind of working.
Not a bad plan.
As long as guys make some cuts occasionally, be just fine.
Right? He can find the open guy.
And Porzingis is playing pretty well, I guess, to start the season. You know,
Yeah, that won't last.
Yeah. Well-ish.
Hey, guess what? Minnesota's under 500.
no, but they started out so hot.
They like to lead you on.
They always do.
But yeah, they've now lost 4 straight.
Also, fun facts. I believe I don't have it in front of me, but at least the other day, Paul George was leading the league in scoring. Is that correct?
I think Durant eclipsed him.
Okay. Good, because
Yeah,
F that guy.
that can't happen. Do you guys think? Who do you guys right now? If you were to say the best team in the East, between Brooklyn, Miami, and Philly, who are you guys going with? Who are you most afraid of?
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Still.
the answer.
Okay.
I think Miami's playing the best basketball, but Brooklyn's like kind of screwing around, and they still have a winning record.
I just don't even kind of know how to beat that team.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody really does, especially if they get. I mean, are they going to get Kyrie back? It doesn't matter. I mean, is Harden going to get into shape? That matters, but
Eventually, he will.
yeah, exactly. I just think if you've got Harden and Durant on the same team, and I mean, okay, look, their big guys look a little old and washed up, but they've got enough stuff around them.
Blake Griffin was out there today getting floor burn and hitting threes. I mean, he was just monstering it out there.
But I'm not sure that Paul Millsap has been, what they hoped he would be. I don't know if Aldridge is going to be able to hang through a whole season. I don't know.
Are we worried about the Bucks?
Oh, they'll figure it out.
Are they just in a hangover?
Yeah, they'll
the title?
figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, I think Philly is the team that I fear least of those teams. I would fear Brooklyn, then the Bucks, then Miami. Probably would be my order.
Okay.
I think the Bucks are. I mean, they're a championship team for a reason. I think that and like I said, the other day, like if Kyrie Irving is not coming back, the Bucks have the best big three in the East.
Yes, true. And then out west right now, Golden State is currently in first place. It goes Warriors, Jazz, Mavericks at the top of the.
Just like we drew it
West.
up. Just like we predicted.
Like we drew it up. Yeah. Warriors look really good. They look potent as usual on offense and feisty on defense, and are able to win games even when Steph Curry doesn't go bananas. So
and they still don't have Klay
scary.
Thompson.
They still don't have Klay Thompson, and their rookies haven't even really played a lot, and their rookie from last year hasn't even sort of
seen the floor.
rounded into form yet. Yeah. So they could be super tough.
Their
They're
current
going to be a tough out.
point differential is 13.7. So
that's got to be the best in the league for sure.
It is. It's a couple points out ahead of Miami. So
yeah, that's the kind of point differential that wins you a championship.
Yeah. And the only game that they have lost so far was an overtime to Memphis where John Morant went crazy. And they're about to finish mopping the floor with Houston as we record. Because Houston
bad.
Houston. They've got, don't they have Eric Gordon?
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Is he playing?
He is?
Sure.
Oh,
he's like their best player, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like on display for
trades
for draft picks. Yeah. You want him?
Yeah, I'll give you a second rounder for Eric Gordon for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, the Warriors' schedule has been super easy in fairness, though, so things will get tougher for that team. But
sure.
Yeah, and Philly will drop down when their schedule gets tougher too because they're not very good. They suck. Yep. I'm not afraid of them. We can totally take them in a 7-game series.
Are you telling us a secret right now?
I am.
Is that where your hand is next year?
I just don't want the Philly fans to hear me what I'm saying.
Okay. They're tough. That's true.
The other side is the Philly side of the mic.
Yeah,
exactly.
No. The two places I've gone to a lot of Pacer games, and I've probably had all fan bases in the stadium. Probably seen all 30 teams or most of them. The two fan bases that just are terrible, even in my house. Coming to my stadium and being total dicks would be the Detroit fans and the Philly fans. They're just the worst. Now, Chicago will buy out all our tickets, but they're fairly nice. They're not like dicks. They just buy up all the tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Because they outnumber us and they feel bad for us.
Right, exactly. They're like, oh, it's so cute. You're Indianapolis. And they pat us on the head. But Detroit and Philly are just like the worst freaking fans. Both of them can suck it, and I'm not afraid of your teams. Look me in the eye, Philly fans. We got you in a 7-game series.
Way to take on Detroit, a team that or a city that hosts the 1-8 Pistons and the 0-10 Lions or whatever.
Giant killer, Jonathan
Cole.
Giant kills.
Don't step to me because I will bring down your terrible team.
your poor city that got demolished by the 2008 housing collapse.
Oh, well. I mean, They also... do they have lead in their water still?
Probably. That's more Flint than Detroit, but yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully they got that remedy. All right, let's take a break before we get into solving the world's water problems.
We've already lost all of our Detroit fans.
We lost. Come on, we lost them 9 years ago.
That was like the number one thing on our to-do list when we started this podcast.
That's right. That's right.
I think that's like part of our tagline. It's like we don't know what we're talking about, and Detroit sucks.
Yeah.
It's like kind of that's our thing.
We're consistent.
All right. Yeah.
We've got a through line. It's sort of a story arc. After 9 years,
We gave away the story of the first season a little bit.
Not much of an arc.
Detroit sucks, and
It's
we'll
a
never say
Flatline
nice.
story. Flatline story might be the name of the pod. Oh dear.
Let's play some music.
All right.
What I got is cause I go hard, no holds barred. Monday to Sunday grinding heavily, I show no yawns. I be driving on the highway, my body be trying to doze off. Awakened by ambitious desires, I can't approach laws. Running in my zone like a boxing one. One zone is on the box next to the box of the blunts. Crack corks, I post in the front, blow cake like it's my birthday. Like the sparklers on top of bottles of rosé. S-Class 550, riding in a slow lane. Relaxing cause these rats is in my head like Rogaine. Yeah, I just floss Gucci glasses with an old frame. Loving what's in my mirror's reflection. Sometimes I'm so vain.
You see how I'm getting money, don't you? You just shooting cause I'm on. Monday through Sunday, shorty, I'm always on it. Baby, I'm all up in my zone. Got it cause I get it. 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 Cause I'm all up in my zone. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. So tell me what we talking about. I'm all about my money,
Okay.
ain't stopping now.
Let's get it.
I'm all about a profit, ain't talking
Hey.
now.
I'm going in like a door when it's open. And I'm so focused, I could tell you how it feels to be chosen. I've arose from infestations of roaches to being golden child. Emerging from my mother's canal was God's favorite moment. I stand alone, the throne entrusted to me. I just removed a couple crown jewels and encrusted the ring. I drive quiet, I like silence when I'm trucking the V. Causing the pain of Stevie Wonder cause I'm something to see. Trust and believe I'm working wonders when I function in ink. Bright as the sun, so it makes sense. I come from the east. My past my bed, I squeeze the pen like I was humping the sheets. It's verbal intercourse, I thrust until I come on the beat. Legend.
You see how I'm getting money, don't you? You just shooting cause I'm on.
And we're back from the break. All right, Joey is absent. His paternity leave has got to be running out soon. I think he's coming back next week or the week after.
Yeah, we have
Who
to look
knows?
at the bylaws, the schedule.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
we put
that's right.
Colson
In the-
in charge of HR, so
Right, I'm
Relax.
really bad at math.
relax.
In the meantime, we're doing stats of the week by committee, and this week is my week.
Joey, stat of the week.
My stat today, Sunday, we're recording. Ricky Rubio hit 8 of 9 3-pointers
Jeez.
in a game. He's now shooting. He's hit 24 of 56 on the season from 3-point range, which is good enough for 42.9% from 3-point range. This is a guy that notoriously not a good shooter.
Right.
Terrible. There were years he was shooting like 35% from the field.
Right.
From the field, right.
The only thing that's kept him in the league is passing, not shooting
And defense.
and defense. Right, for sure.
And that 42.9% is better than Steph Curry is shooting from the field. Steph shooting 41.1% on the season thus far, and only 37.5 from 3. So, as Nitro XYZ posted on Reddit, I think after all these years, we can finally agree that Rubio deserved to be drafted ahead of Curry.
Panned out perfectly.
Exactly.
Well, that's fantastic for Rubio and the Cavs. It's also fantastic for the Golden State Warriors that they're winning with Curry shooting
not
like
even
crap.
shooting well. Yep. Wait, the Cavs? I thought he was on the T-Wolves.
T-Wolves.
No,
I think he might be. He might be on the T-Wolves. I don't know.
Could be both. Colson, it's been a while. We have a sub-segment that has now spun off into its own podcast. It's its own behemoth.
For sure.
Called the Undegoogleables, where we tackle things that can't be Googled. And
I mean, they can be Googled, but
maybe shouldn't be Googled.
Potentially.
We Google. We use our brain power to be better than Google.
That's right. How can we help you this week?
Oh, are we doing under Googleables?
That was the plan.
Super excited.
You told us we had to, so.
He said we signed up for it.
In the end, it's going to be better and more true than Google can give you. So I just want to say that I was at camping with a bunch of dudes this weekend, and the amount of phrases that were just spilled out of these people's mouths, like wheelhouse and hair of the dog and things, and I just kept being like, oh, I know where that came from. I know where that came from. I know where that came from because we've done this show. This is the show where you learn where your vernacular came from. The die is cast.
Okay. So that
die
goes to like steel working, right? Or whatever.
Okay. Does it? I don't know.
I just make a cast. Wait.
So I was thinking
die.
Yeah, no, I was thinking clothing, right? So when you add colors to a dye.
Dye is the color, though, right?
Well, dye is the product of adding the colors to the medium, right? So you create a dye. You cast a dye, perhaps.
So I thought an alternate thing for a dye was like a mold.
Sure. Also possible.
Right. Yeah. So a dye is equivalent to a mold. So you have made the mold, and then you pour whatever you're going to put into the mold, steel, plastic, whatever, and then it's cast. Things are set into place.
Which is the meaning of the phrase, right? Basically, this is already done. Okay, so I didn't know about this dye steel thing, so you've already answered it then. I just was real confused by the dye-colored clothing thing, because cast didn't seem like... Why would you throw dye, I don't know. The casting thing didn't make sense, but if there is if the hot metal is going into a cast...
I'm 99% sure that that's what it is.
Okay. They don't all have to be hard. I got a million of them.
I don't know when it started.
Well, I would assume in Industrial Revolution. When are we melting metals?
Sounds right.
I mean, I guess we've been melting metals forever, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, we were making swords and the...
Yeah. I would probably go a little bit earlier to, like, blacksmithing.
Yeah, blacksmithing. Okay. So what do you think, like 14th century? Or are we going a little bit later than that?
Oh, maybe 17th.
17th? Okay.
So I got ahead of myself and I Googled it because I was so confident.
And you're totally rough. Okay. Well, then,
cool.
Then stop guessing,
That's
and Harper and I will still figure it out.
What? Okay, yeah. So if you guys want to keep guessing, keep going. Because it's... At least there are alternate... potential origins.
Well, so one of the things that I was wondering if you were to take a dye and cast it in water, like, again, that doesn't make sense. I guess you're guaranteeing what color that thing's going to be, maybe, and that's what the solidifying thing is, or the permanence of it.
Yeah, that was my thing. Is once dyed something. It's
It's
dyed
gonna be that
in the
color.
wool, as it were.
Dyed in the wool. Another undegoogleable on top of an undegoogleable.
It turns out that that's definitely not right, though.
So what are we looking at then?
So I was confused because die cast. So I was thinking it was from die casting, right? And die casting is a metal fabrication process that involves forcing molten metal under high pressure into reusable metal dies. Die casting allows for the creation of metal parts with accurate dimensions, sharp definition, and smooth textured surfaces. So,
Like I-beams.
once the die is cast, the steel has cooled, and you can't change it. Turns out that the die is cast comes from Latin, lacta alia est. The dice have been thrown.
What?
Which, according to Suetonius, was said by Julius Caesar when he crossed the Rubicon and invaded Italy in 49 BC.
So once you throw the dice, the result is going to be the result.
Right.
Yep.
Now, the good news is it dates back to English in the first half of the 1600s.
Okay, there you go. We were right.
Nailed it.
So the die is cast is basically the dice.
It's
the
a
dice
crappy,
are thrown.
The die.
It's really just
A
a
single
crappy
die.
translation.
The single die. The single die is thrown. It's cast out of your hand.
Iacta alia est.
Really?
The dice have been thrown is actually
The dice
a
have been
better
thrown.
translation.
And it has nothing to do with metals or colors.
It appears not. And this is everywhere you look. They're pretty firm
So-
on this.
Okay.
Yeah, this seems pretty solid.
Well, see, because the way I wrote it in my notes was die. I didn't write it like
DYE.
dice. Yeah, I wrote DYE because that's why I always thought it was.
Well, this is why we do the show.
Oh my goodness. Well, now we got to do another one because otherwise this won't be a full show. Or what we do, like a 4-minute show on the Undegoogleables? That's not cool.
I mean, we could. Let's get more content. Come on, that's 2 weeks.
Okay.
What else can I solve for you?
Yeah. Why do we throw things under the bus?
Oh, that's a good question. We should ask Paul George because he's with
He's the king.
Because he's an expert at that. But why would that be a thing? Why is that a phrase? In what situation are we throwing things under the bus? The only thing I could think of was throwing, how when you get on a cross country bus, the bottoms flip up and you can throw your bags in there. So you're throwing something under the bus, but that doesn't connect to leaving someone out to hang or to dry or whatever, in the sense that.
Right. The idea being that you're passing the buck in a way. You're blaming somebody.
You're blaming
else
somebody else
for the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to go full mob and say somebody pushed somebody in front of a bus one time. So they couldn't testify.
So you say so you're saying this is very literal then?
I
We
mean,
threw somebody under
I've
a bus.
always thought of it very literally.
Yeah.
I think I have too. The idea that oh, whoops, it's a good way to have an accident that. Yeah, you blame the other guy. Right?
I mean, the idea of stepping off the curb and getting hit by a bus and that, and and because you never know what's going to happen in your life. But also, as a mob guy, you could be like, "Hey, you never know. You might step off a curb and get hit by a bus." Hey, that's my Joe Pesci, I guess.
That's Joe Pesci.
Am I funny to you? Am I a clown? Why don't you step off a curb and get hit by a bus? Hey, I don't know. It's my, yeah.
Throw somebody under the bus.
What would you because throwing somebody is another thing. It's not. You got pushed into a bus. You didn't get pushed. You didn't get kicked into a bus.
Yeah,
you were
because I feel
thrown
like
under
part
a
of
bus.
the connotation is that we're all on the bus together. we're a team and you're getting thrown off the bus and underneath it, kind of.
Oh.
Like you're getting moved to lower quarters maybe or something like that. I don't know if that's
so like a keel haul situation.
Perhaps, yeah.
What about so is this a school bus? Like where like the nerdy kid gets thrown out the window and gets rolled over?
Does it matter what kind of bus it is?
I think it does.
I
think
mean, when
every
I get
part
hit
of
by a
this
bus, I
matters.
almost never care what kind of bus it is.
No, I mean, is it a cross country bus? Is it a city bus?
It
Is
hurts
it a
the
school
same
bus?
every time.
I'm just wondering where like. So I feel like what's the
Does it
first
come from
bus?
the double-decker buses? Where like the pristine
Oh,
seats are up
here we
top,
go,
and
here
then
we
you're
go.
getting thrown.
Yeah, to
You're
the
not
bottom.
allowed to be with the company, so you go underneath.
Maybe you've made a scene. You flashed somebody on the top, and you have to go below deck.
That's the punishment for flashing people in England.
Yeah, or like maybe like original double-decker buses. Maybe they didn't have windows on the bottom. You know, like the train cars. Sometimes there's double-decker train cars, and the bottom ones are like you don't have as good a
There's
window.
no
kind of
windows,
thing.
so it's just like a hot box. What's going on?
Windows were probably expensive back in the day, right? I mean, windows are expensive now.
Right,
Like-
they're getting more expensive for sure.
Expensive and heavy.
I kind of like this double decker idea, but you're not under the bus.
Maybe you get thrown in the luggage compartment, like that was your
Punishment? Okay. So, because I was thinking, like, that's a thing you throw baggage under the bus, but I just I just can't connect that to. All right, so I think so. If we think it's the mob stuff, what era is that? We're talking about the 1920s. When do we have buses? When do we have cars? We have cars in like 1910.
Yeah,
Sure,
around
yeah,
then.
we
What
had
is the Model
mass-produced
T?
cars
It's
at that point.
Yeah, because there's a car like
1914 or
1907.
something.
Yeah, 1914 probably. So, but do we have buses by the 1925 maybe? 30.
Good question.
Let's say the 30s. 30s is when we got buses.
Sure.
Okay. That could still be. That's prime mob time.
I mean, is there a not prime mob time? I feel like it's been a high plateau for the mob for like a long time.
They're doing all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why a human being would go underneath a bus, you would think, would be sheer hiding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the only situation where
Like voluntarily.
yeah,
You mean
potentially. And so,
like maybe you get on the bus and you don't have a ticket, but instead of tossing you off the bus, they're like, all right, just throw you in the luggage compartment. I don't know.
No, that's
Instead of stopping the bus.
No, I like
'cause-
it. I like it. Yeah. What if it's like a mechanic thing, right? So buses are so long that you can't you need somebody to toss you down into the middle of the undersection of the bus. Like you put you on a little the little rolly pat, and somebody's got to throw you under the bus because it's not like a car where you can just.
it does sound
be
like
under.
a really fun
That would
game.
be like a good thing. That would
Yeah.
be like a helpful.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
It's all about how you say it, right?
All right. So we're thinking it's the mob.
Okay, mob in 1930s,
I was maybe 50s.
and I'm going with it's something about throwing luggage into the luggage compartment in the 50s.
Okay.
I still can't make the connection, but that's what I'm going with.
Well, so this is bizarre. So according to Wikipedia, the earliest known usage of this phrase was 21 June 1982, when Julian Critchley of the Times of London wrote of President Galtieri was pushed under the bus, which gossips had said was the only means of her removal. Like, that's a really weird way to deploy a completely new idiom.
That's wild.
Where'd you find that?
This is under a straight-up wiki page.
No, yeah, Merriam-Webster echoes that.
But 82? This has been in the vernacular longer than
okay,
that.
so Merriam-Webster says that the earliest written record was in 1980 in reference to a British politician. Yeah, it definitely seems like this goes to like Parliament in Britain.
Yep. So that's what I'm seeing too, and this is a fairly recent addition to the vernacular. It looks like the 1980s. Wow.
Apparently, according to Merriam-Webster, it has also been attributed to minor league baseball Cyndi Lauper, the slang used of used car salesmen, and various other improbable sources.
So I will say that I've run across the Cyndi Lauper. That's actually a wrongly quoted thing. It was actually David Remnick writing about Cyndi Lauper. The line was, in the rock and roll business, you were either on the bus or under it. Again, not clear whether you're actually being rolled over by that bad boy or just stuck in the luggage compartment. I'm going to assume being rolled over, but that's just what I always thought. And that was from 1984 as well.
So I'm seeing a 1980 look both ways before crossing the street or you might be under it, which sounds like a threat from the mob to me.
Or a helpful warning to children.
Right.
Yeah, that's quite strange.
So recent.
Well, it's not even strange that this is that recent. It just seems to have just appeared from nowhere.
It's just like random.
Yeah. The phrase's origin is uncertain, but it likely got its start in British politics where the phrase, quote, under a bus was already in use as a metaphor for misfortune or a conveniently timed accident.
Okay, now we're talking.
That's something.
That makes sense. If under the bus was already a phrase, then you could throw somebody into that space.
But the earliest record we have of that is 1980. Some still pin their hopes on the, quote, under the bus, unquote, theory that Mr. Foot being forced by ill health. Yeah. That's super strange. No, it's very interesting. Right. Like, it seems to suggest like an untimely accident and a betrayal, and like it has all this connotation, but it just...
But like straight from the beginning, but no like direct line.
Yeah, we somehow infused it with that from the start, but it's like very strange.
Oh, I've got a fun article. How to avoid throwing someone under the bus.
Okay.
Don't make assumptions. Keep honest. Hold yourself accountable. Those are the 3 answers.
Well, this is all your fault, so.
Yeah. Wait a second.
All right.
Yeah, it's the magic of the game. Like, why does that why? I thought that would be like... That's just like weird.
That's very
like brand new.
To me.
Like
this has
come up since we were alive. This is a phrase that's like come into the parlance during our lifetime. That's weird. I don't think we've ever gone through an Undebeatable that's sort of the case before. You know.
No,
we're old.
You're right.
Well,
thanks for.
We just got old. Is what happened.
I'm old.
Maybe what just happened.
Damn it.
All right.
I think I just threw you guys under the bus by saying you were old.
You're probably not as old as us. But even if you are.
Does Coulson have another rant in him?
On Twitter?
I definitely have another. Going on? I have another rant. You're trying to close me out.
What do you mean?
You can't throw me under the bus. I want to mention, Jason, that.
You're right. Sorry.
Oh, what are you sorry about? Don't apologize for being bad at your job.
Ahead. I threw you under the bus. Right?
Not effectively enough, it would seem.
So apparently, and this is how good we are at keeping up on our own press. That we got a review. I mean, I don't know, a review. We got some notice in the Indianapolis Monthly, which is a magazine that comes out monthly, I assume.
What's a magazine again?
I don't know, but I think it's also online.
Like us, semi-weekly or monthly means that it comes up occasionally.
Whenever it wants
like.
to.
Yeah.
So this article is back in April, and we just discovered this because Jason's wife apparently reads the Indianapolis Monthly from 9 months ago. I don't know how she found this, but thank God. She's maybe Googling us. Is that what she's doing? Shout out to Jill.
Yes. She
Nice.
Googles us on a regular.
Nice. Shout out to Jill. This is an article on Indiana's hoop obsession in podcast form. It mentions the podcasts that talk about the Pacers, Indy Cornrows, Locked On Pacers, the Fieldhouse Files, which I've never heard of, so I should probably look it up. The Paceroos, which I assume doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. They're from Australia, which is cool. No, I don't know.
You throw the Paceroos in.
No. Good day, mate. I'm sure you're great. I should check you out. But the Undebeatables, here's our snippet from the Indianapolis Monthly, hosted by 4 Indiana natives, now spread out across the country. True, they must have listened to at least the intro. The Undebeatables is a pure passion project from a group of truly hardcore Pacer fans. They actually must have listened to a couple episodes to know that we make no money on this. And then it says it excels at conjuring the amiable hangout vibes native to podcasting itself. I feel like I'm not sure what that's saying, except that we talk on the phone to each other and then like put it out there. It's not a bad review, but it's a review of like a fact, which is we talk like people talk on podcasts. Which I guess is good. I don't know.
I think it's a compliment. I think it's they're saying this is the OG version of the form.
Okay, it does excel at
before
conjuring
Barack
the
Obama and Bruce Springsteen were doing podcasts. Morons like this were doing.
Actually, you know what I think it's? I think what it's saying is they haven't gotten better. I think it's probably what it's. They picked up podcasting when podcasting was just a thing, and they're still doing it just like they used to. I think that's probably what that says. But I would like to shout out Indianapolis Monthly and Jason's lovely wife Jill, who brought this to my attention because it's the only time I think I've ever been in a magazine.
The Paceroos, by the way, the rumors of their demise, greatly exaggerated.
Do they have way more
as of the 4th?
Do they have way
and
more?
And we're tweeting today.
Us?
So, Colson, when you learn how to tweet, you miss them because you don't know how to tweet.
I'm going to throw another shrimp on the barbie. Paceroos.
And then we threw an entire continent under the bus. As much as possible.
I mean, they were already underneath. We just,
Yeah. We just drove over them and then backed up.
All right. If you want to...
I'm sorry I stopped your closing so I could go on that rant, and then now I'm still stopping you from doing your outro.
No, you're good. We want to thank you for listening. We seriously can't believe that people actually listen to this, and appreciate every single one of you that does. If you want to keep in touch with us, if you want to keep your eyes peeled for our response to the Paceroos, you can follow us on @Undebeatables on Twitter, or hop over to Facebook.com /The Undebeatables. We are in the metaverse over there, I think.
Whoa.
We have a contact form on the undebeatables.com if you want to send us a note. Several fans have done that. We haven't gotten a contact form in a while. Reach out. Or, log into your Hotmail and email us. Shout out at theundebeatables.com. And if you want a t-shirt in the schmedium variety, we have a t-shirt. Not even mini t-shirts that would necessitate an entire t-shirt rack. At theundebeatables.com.
Nice pull. I think the architect, Donnie Walsh, I think the once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Leonard, would want me to sing us out in honor of the Paceroos, which I'm totally going to listen to because I love listening to the Australian accent. Torn out the lots. Whoa, that's not even a thing. Throw another shrimp on the
spit
barbie.
water all over my
Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Yeah, almost.
Dudes.
Dudes. As long as you say dudes after it.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
So I think in consecutive podcasts now, we've thrown both New Zealand and Australia under.
Yeah.
It's the same country. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We're quickly running out of the South Pacific.
No, I think we have a lot of listeners in Australia. I think probably the Paceroos got inspired by us.
Yeah, they were just drilling down on our market share. They were had to break up the monopoly over there.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.